Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to An Introvert's Paradise. I'm Kendrick Kaiju, and today we're gonna talk about improving jobs and careers in Inzoi. I've been thinking about this one for a while now. And because it is this week's topic of Brainstorm with Kaijun, now's the time to pull the trigger on making this video. So this week on Discord, Kaijun asked, what is the one thing you would like to see improved or changed about the current active job system in Inzoi? Well, here's the thing though. I don't think one change does the trick. Because even though I love this game, I see the potential in it. In fact, it might be too good of a life sim because the job aspect is so tedious and not fun. I kid you not, I look forward to the weekend in-game so much, and I've even experienced having, I don't know if you've ever felt this, but in real life on Sunday night, you get the anxiety about having to show up to work the next day. I legit get that in Inzoi. It's kind of like pulling teeth. It's really tedious. I feel like the workday's too long, it's too repetitive, and though that's accurate to real life, it's a game at the end of the day. Let's make working a job in the game more fun. I definitely have some ideas to accomplish that goal, but it would require a multitude of changes, not just one. But in the spirit of Brainstorm with Kaijun, where we can only say one thing, I would say we have to make some adjustments to this daily task system. First and foremost, it needs to be more varied. Because right now it is the same thing every single day, day in and day out, up until you get a promotion, then they change it up. But then, it's the same set of tasks, day in, day out, over and over again, until you get another promotion. And so it changes again. But then you realize you're out of promotions, so you'll be doing that for the rest of your playthrough. Over and over and over again, and it is really tedious. It is not fun. So for starters, they gotta mix it up. It would make a world of difference if they made the simple change of, instead of every morning you do these 3 tasks, mix it up. One day it's ABC, the next day it's DEF, and then the next day it's ADE. You get what I mean, right? And the number of times you do each task. Like the K-pop trainee career, how you have to sing 3 times, dance 5 times. It'd be nice if they mixed that up. Some days it's once, some days it's a couple times. Surprise me. Okay, so now we move on from the one thing rule. Let's talk about different ways, as many ways as we'd like, on how to make jobs in Inzoi fun. I think first things first, as I said, the workday is way too long. I legit have my Zois take, I think, about 2 hours worth of naps per day while I'm at the office. And although that would be amazing in real life, it's just a waste of time in a video game. So what I ended up doing one day out of frustration is I just left. I finished all the tasks for the day and I just left. And to my surprise, it looks like they don't penalize you. It seems like you get paid for the day as long as you finish all your tasks. So I've just been doing that. Hopefully they don't patch it out. Hopefully that was done intentionally. If anything, what would be really great is if they, because right now, you get your morning tasks and then you get your afternoon tasks. It would be great if we just got one set of tasks for the entire day. So we could just knock them all out and be done by lunch. Or for the players who want to be there all day, be my guest. Now expanding outside of what's already in the game, you know, things that aren't a stretch, let's move into what would be a stretch. Perhaps a stretch anyway. I think what would make jobs better, gameplay-wise, is if we could get some mini games. Like instead of just sending our Zoi, clicking a button and sending our Zoi to go and complete the task, it would be really cool to have mini games for us to participate in the task. Like for example, right now in the K-pop trainee field, I think by the time you reach senior trainee, you have to dance like 5 times in the mirror and it's just tedious. But what would be really cool is if they gave us like a Dance Dance Revolution type of mini game, just on the keyboard. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, just directional buttons like you would if you didn't have the dance pad. That would be so much fun and so immersive. I would love going to work. Instead of dreading it, I would look forward to my next K-pop shift. Have some cool music, have precision for high scores, and for singing, oh my god, singing is so tedious. More than the tedium, it's actually annoying, because everybody's so bad at singing for so long. And I don't think it's realistic. I don't think people who are level 8 or 9 at singing are bad at singing, should be bad at singing. I feel like when you first start off, okay, the first maybe 3 or 4 levels, you're awful, that's okay. But I think when you start hitting 5 and 6, you should be considered an average singer. You shouldn't sound like an animal dying at that point, and make the player wish that they were no longer living as well. Now, a mini game for this isn't as obvious for singing, but I don't know, did you ever play the original 2K? I was a kid back then, and I remember it being the hardest thing in the world when you had to shoot free throws. I think you had to take both the triggers, like the top triggers, and press them with just enough pressure where they come together perfectly and you can shoot a free throw. I think that might work, where you're trying to somehow bring 2 points together, and if you can hit it, you hit the note perfectly. I don't know, I think that might work. I don't know how fun that is. I remember hating that in 2K when I was a kid. I can't imagine it'd be that fun, but at least it would be immersive. At least I'm part of it. And even if we can't introduce completely brand new game mechanics like that, like a different video games game mechanics, I remember one of the Sims games, probably Sims 4 because it's been around forever, but the one where you were a vet. I remember that being really fun. You had to put the dog onto the bed and then scan it for whatever ailed it, and then go from there in healing it. Even something simple like that, where again, if there's some variety, you actually have to pay attention, you have to react at the situation. I think it really comes down to variety and immersiveness. And thinking big picture, I think in the future, to make work more fun, I think a variety of workplaces would be really great. And what I mean by that is, you're not always going to the office. It'd be good to have some jobs where you could work from home, or be out and about. We have the open world, we have the cars, so why not some sort of maybe delivery service or courier? That would definitely be super interesting, especially if they ever incorporate controller support for driving, because right now it's not great. Or if they got rid of the load screen when you do automatic driving, or you can just be like, oh yes, I'm going here, click on your map, that's where you're going, and be able to watch the entire journey. It'd be cool if you could opt in or opt out, depending on how you wanted to play. If you wanted the day to fly by, I could see why you'd opt out of that. I don't know what it is, but I would love to be a postman. I would love to be a mailman. You know, we go to the post office in the morning, pick up the mail, pick up the truck, and then off to your route. A mix of being on foot and driving. Or the one thing that I strangely really loved from GTA was being able to drive a cab, being a cabbie. I would love to be able to just drive around, pick people up, pick up fares, and then drop them off, drive to wherever they wanted and drop them off. So if they could ever figure out controller support for driving, I think sky's the limit. I mean, you have the cars, you have the open world. There's so much potential there to do different things with it. It would be a huge missed opportunity if they didn't incorporate cars and the open world and the freedom to move around in some way, shape, or form in a career or two. And if nothing else, if none of my ideas come true, the one thing they absolutely need to do in order to make work fun is give us businesses. Let us make and run our own business, like The Sims 2 Open for Business. I'll never stop playing. Have it pretty open-ended. You can kind of do whatever you want to do. Like the one thing about, what was the one in Sims 4? The one where you had restaurants where you could run a restaurant, you can hire people to work, but you couldn't actually work in the restaurant yourself, other than greeting guests. That was really annoying. because I love these cooking games. Like Overcooked, Diner Bros, I love these games. So I think it would be really cool if we could open a restaurant and then be whatever we wanted to be in. We could be the executive chef. We could just wash dishes all day if that's what we wanted to do. At this point in the genre, I don't think that's an unfair expectation. I think to keep it to just make something, sell something, yeah, that needs to be there, absolutely, because that covers so much of retail business. And you could do so much with just that simple system. But I think it would be a real missed opportunity again if they didn't take something that was such a glaring omission in The Sims 4 and put it in their game. And this is just one example. That's one particular business, running a restaurant. Again, if they combine my other idea, like being a courier, being a delivery service, maybe instead of just working for those places, you can own a place and you can hire people, or you could do it yourself. I mean, I'm getting so excited thinking about this stuff. I need to calm down, because if they never do it, I won't look at this game the same. But either way, I think that's a good place to leave it. I've definitely given it some thought. I love this game, but I'm not crazy about the work aspect of this game, and it's the one thing to work on, really. Okay, thank you for your time. You take care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon. I'm Kendra Kaiju, and you've been watching An Introvert's Paradise, talking about different ways we could improve the jobs and career system in Inzoi. All right, I'll talk to you next week. But until then, just make it through another day.